Is everyone happy after some technical difficulties?
Speaking of technical difficulties, the controller's not working again. I think we're here now. Hello.
Howdy. Wait, whoops. I had my microphone off. I'm an idiot. Howdy.
Well, I've still heard you.
Well, yeah, alright, I'm an idiot. Hello, everyone. How's it going? I think what we're doing now is a bit of this Metal Gear, and also we're going to solidly go around. I believe that is the name of the series, Metal Gear and Solid.
Yeah. Something like that.
Oh, yeah, we are here. Yeah, TikTok espionage action. Hello, people. How you guys doing?
Howdy, y'all. Hope today's going okay.
Hello, everyone.
Is there really no audio settings?
Don't worry about audio settings. Why would you need audio settings in a video
custom
game?
Soundtrack volume?
Custom soundtrack. It's kind of like when you see custom finish on a gun when it's for sale. They'll say, this is a custom finish, one of 500,000 units. By the way, our goal is to get to 5,000 followers per our Twitch page, and we were at 4976.
Oh, shit.
That's not bad. We're not bad. We're okay people. We're people. Yeah, audio settings in a Kojima game? Are you crazy?
Well, I just want to turn her humming down. Maybe that sounds kind of, cold, since it's the only way she can communicate, but it's really annoying. It sounds like she's standing over my right shoulder and just aggressively humming in my ear.
What is she humming?
Just some little tune. I think she's also started a firefight with the Soviets.
As you do.
Yeah, well, I have to let her kill some people so her bond goes higher, so that I can then give her the Tranquilizer rifle so she stops fucking killing people.
Is she humming like Donkey Shane?
No. That would be an interesting song. Kojima doesn't like those.
No, I could probably rescore most of Metal Gear Solid. And probably make it a bit more interesting. Because to challenge myself, I would make every soundtrack unique to the game. So A good example of scoring in Metal Gear Solid was Metal Gear Solid 3 had a very Bond movie soundtrack, if not Bourne series soundtrack. It was really good.
Yeah.
You know, Snake Eater is a title theme, cold opening, very good pacing, good game.
Yeah.
Each game should have its own soundtrack, and the soundtrack should be unique to the game. You know, there's a reason why, even though there's been a really lousy series off and on with some good parts, naturally, of like Battlefield games, people can remember their favorite version of the Battlefield soundtrack. Dun 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 dun. You know, everyone has in their. Most of chat out there right now is humming along already, going bum 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 bum. Like, you can't help it. It's catchy. That's a good soundtrack. A bad soundtrack in a game is sad. Sad.
Yeah. Music does a lot to change our perceptions and the way that we interpret what we are seeing and doing.
Yeah, like, you can play a lot of really... Like, okay, the intro Escape from the Hospital, as you're driving away in the vehicle, you know what I would have used instead of orchestral soundtrack? Midnight Rider.
There went my knees.
Don't worry about it. You have a knee brace. I would have used Midnight Rider.
Okay.
That would have been awesome. That or Burning Bridges from the Kelly's Heroes soundtrack.
He's coming too. Roger that.
I think that would have done it. But
Why
yeah,
is
when it...
The serial number's not in Cyrillic letters.
Don't worry about it. All they had was one stencil, and now they have to use it.
What's driving around? Where are you? Oh, yeah,
Man,
it's a
that
pickup
humming
truck.
really is annoying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty... pretty up there.
Well, Hamster, there is not a song that I can recall that contains the phrase fire whale, but Burning Down the House
Would be an inspired choice.
Oh man, that would be good. For those of you who are looking for something that has our soundtrack in it for what we're talking about, the Black Pants Legion podcast has released the first 3 episodes of our Traveler role-playing game. And that has our own soundtrack in it. And there's a lot of really, really, really stupid music in there that is definitely foreshadowing. When you hear Tom Waits singing God's Way on Business, you know what kind of crew we are.
Yeah, some of it's foreshadowing, and some of it's just funky as all get out.
Well, we both love retrofuturism. We can't help it. We want to live in a future where everyone smokes Pall Malls on their spaceship, has denim, huge sideburns. Everyone's got chock loads of attitude. Everyone's a badass or a hard ass. Either or. You have to be a badass or a hard ass. You gotta be...
The important part of both of those is the ass.
Full ass everything, man. It was a blue jeans kind of world back then.
That's
yeah,
true.
Everything runs on magnetic tape. You know, whole ass everything.
Every control is hard button control.
Toggles, definitely toggle switches. Yeah. You're like, hold on, I got to turn on the tractor beam, and you just hear click clack click clack click clack as you're going down the buttons.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about putting haptic feedback in if there's physically a button there.
And physically a button that can break. Oh. And all the consoles are wired to shoot sparks out of them anytime anything happens.
Oh, okay. I was hearing that gunfire and wondering what it was.
Are they just having a range day?
I think one specific guy is.
Came from Central Asia before, but
Huh.
lately they've been using more and more Russians. Simple, really.
Huh.
There's less hesitation to pull the trigger if they're not fighting their own race. Morbid cynicism, but it gets results. That's humanity for you.
Well, Ocelot's just a downer.
Yeah. Well, Ocelot had his dream of becoming a cowboy come true, and he found out it's not as cool as he thought.
Yeah, that'll
He
happen.
wanted to be a cowboy. He wanted to be a cowboy in a western desert. And he got his dream.
And turns out the cowboy's life is not an easy one.
Watch The Wild Bunch.
Analysis complete.
That's a good western.
Oh
I
yeah, you
wish
should
there was
you should come check out who that person is.
There should be an ability to just put on their uniform and helmet, walk around like they do. Because at a distance, they wouldn't know.
Analysis.
So I actually do now. I found a mod that will let you do that, apparently.
Oh.
I'm not sure how well implemented it is. I didn't think it was appropriate for this playthrough.
Hamster of Wrath says, ironically, Russian Spetsnaz cowboy quadruple agent was too many hats for one man.
Maybe. Oh my god,
of-
there's a man asleep.
Instead of mamas don't
Not
let
in
your
my
babies grow up
Spetsnaz.
to be cowboys. It's like mamas don't let your babies grow up to be quadruple agents for a shadow organization that is based upon dead people who squandered enormous amounts of wealth during the World Wars. Kind of a long song title.
Yeah, I don't think that Woody Guthrie would be covering that one.
No. This guy looks like he's used to waking up sleeping people. So is that her laser just painting people?
Yeah. And sometimes me.
Okay. I mean, she just does that. Sir, the mass narcolepsy is happening again. Reminds me of that movie, The Jerk. These cans are defective. Oh, man.
Analysis complete.
You're fortunate? What does that even mean? That's a skill?
Fortunate son.
That's there. If it was one of the Marines, I'd accept that as like, oh, yeah, whatever. But these are the Soviets. It's the wrong song.
Yeah.
I think I'm going back to the dog.
You're just tired of her. What if the dog started humming?
I don't know. At least that's a little bit interesting, right?
That would horrify me. Like the dog has a kazoo.
And it's Wolf Dog with the canine kazoo. Here on WBPL 76. That does sound like something that would be early in our station's history.
Oh
Like we trained a dog to make some sort of noises in a almost pattern.
You know, if we were a public access station from 1965, if we were a public access station from 1965, I could see us having that sort of thing. Like, coming up next, we have dog with kazoo. And the dog just walks around and toots.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. Yeah. But you can't take the kazoo out of its mouth because it starts growling. It's not even anybody's dog. It's just a dog we found in the alley. Oh, man.
Okay, so that is the guy.
Updated.
What would be funny is if over time you could unlock crazy points. You know, because of your person becoming unhinged by the insane scope of this mission, just getting weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and
Mission
weirder.
creep drew him insane.
Right. So what I'm saying is crazy points. Like you can grab the guy, and instead of squeezing him for intel, you just start saying insane stuff like "eat your deodorant." And he's like, "What?" And you're like, "You heard me. Fucking eat your deodorant." You put a gun to his head and you make him like take his deodorant out of his pack and eat it. You ask them questions that like have no answer. You're like, "What's the square root of
Jesus
11d5?"
Christ!
Wow. That was good.
That's one way to solve the problem, I guess. I wish
What's
she'd
the
done.
What's
Yeah,
the
not to this
square
guy.
root? What's the square root of 11? The guy's like crying because he doesn't know the answer. You just start saying insane things like, "Hey, do you play hopscotch?" They're like, "Why?"
Side op.
You heard me.
List updated.
There we go. Now I can leave. It turns out that I had to go fight a brown bear before I could get the gunsmith to do my weapons.
That was that was kind of the problem with I think it was Far Cry 3.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, "Man, I have all these fucking guns I bought. Can I take them with me?" And they're like, "Well, did you go stab 4 sharks?" And you're like, "What is? Why?"
Well, the
What?
AK mags only fit in the shark leather pouches.
Yeah, it's just like, but why? What if I went online, you know, where you're buying all these guns and went on to like Uncle Mike's Nylon, you know, and you're like, "Hey, for $19.99, I end up buying all of these holsters. Like, I buy a box of holsters for $100. Sure, they'll last all of 3 weeks, but who cares?"
Hey man, Uncle Mike's is the highest quality you can get for single digits these days.
Yeah, no. I once saw a warning someone had posted online. He was like, "Uncle Mike's Nylon, don't wash them." Apparently his gun belt smelled bad, so he threw it in the washing machine.
Reasonable, I guess.
Right. And so I didn't ask why his gun belt smelled bad. I was like, "Why are you smelling your belt?" Because I know people in chat right now are going to be like, "Well, what if my belt smells bad?" They take their belt off and, you know, does leather smell like this?
What are we waiting on? Yes. Okay. Get it right up your nostril. Yeah, snort
Right?
that leather.
Yeah.
Well,
don't-
Uncle Mike's wouldn't use anything so expensive or durable as leather.
Yeah, that's not what they do. Typically, Uncle Mike's is like single stitch all the way around, like good enough for now. You know, like it's shit you can afford to burn. Really.
Just another one of his apprentices. Now I'm really dying to meet this guy. We got intel on his location from the apprentice. Think you can recover him? I've added the details to your side ops list.
Okay.
Yeah, daily bonus, whatever. Side op.
Please select a landing zone.
Extract the legendary gunsmith. You shouldn't be going to Afghanistan. You should be going to Khyber Pass.
Or, you know, in this era, probably, like, bugging some of the guys who are fucking with Gunsight right around now. Like,
I would say, like, rural Philippines. Make sure you, like, take the horse or the dog, please. I want to understand how they make a trank gun. Like a 30 caliber trank rifle. Are they just shooting them with a rubber pellet so hard they go into, like, shock?
I have to
Because
assume.
it hurts that bad.
Let's see what this does.
Fulton Carl Gustav.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. I forgot that we had unlocked that.
Yeah.
Deploying.
Ah, yes, we are the forces of Blaster Brown. I forgot.
Yes. Yeah. 30 caliber is actually the needle gauge. Ugh.
Yeah, you just shoot them and they bleed out instantly.
Is that a non-lethal Gustav? Does it just eat bricks at things? It shoots Fultons.
What if it shot a, like, rubber boxing glove? You know?
Like Hot Shots Part 2 type shit?
Yeah. See, the dog doesn't whistle.
No, he's not dead. I just launched a balloon through his chest. Yeah, exactly. You can give Quiet Fatigues eventually. You have to beat the game. And then she gets her gray fatigues that you set her on fire in at the beginning of the game. Or you can just get the mod that gives her clothes, called Give Quiet Clothes.
Yeah, I mean,
That-
I get that there's a lot of eye candy, and it's, as we said earlier when we were talking about the Metal Gear Solid stuff, it's okay to put, like, a little cake or eye candy in a game. I mean, every Bond movie does it, you know? But you have to be tasteful. It has to fit.
Yeah. Mostly...
Like BattleTech has the Black Widow, you know? Like, she's always walking around with a midriff showing shirt, you know? And sprayed on leather pants. I mean, that's kind of...
BattleTech
kind of
has
her
Canopus.
motif.
That entire fucking world is...
Yeah, Canopus is Canopus is basically what Vegas wishes it could be.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Bodies in the desert included. However, as it is true with Vegas, if all you can pay attention to in Canopus is the girls, you have already lost. It's like they have a military. They have a government. Pet the dog, please. Please pet the doggo. It's very important.
There we go.
There you go.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Yeah. Smelled and identified that guy in a truck. Doggo is skilled.
Somebody asked me on the Patreon if I had to make a BattleTech short movie, like a real physical movie, what would it be like? And I would just show a Waffle House in the periphery. Two people sitting around, like, smoking cigarettes and just, like, eating their waffles, complaining about something. And then they're like, all right, anyways, I gotta get going. And then step out in the mechs in the parking lot. Oh yeah, shoot them with rubber bullets till they lay down.
Analysis complete.
He's an anti-ballistic missile engineer guarding
Oh.
a rock in Afghanistan.
Well, he fucked up, didn't he? They were like, "Comrade, you have used red pin instead of blue pin." And he's like, "Oh no." And they're like, "Afghanistan." I love the idea, though, of becoming deranged and just saying crazy shit to these people and then releasing them. Like, you put the knife to him and you're like, "What's the opposite of orange?" And he's like, "What?" And then you choke him out and he wakes up and he tells the others, like, this guy is gonna kidnap you, threaten you, and then say something insane.
Leave the rest to us.
Just be really weird.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Now he's got to wonder where his truck and his partner went when he wakes up.
What I would do is if I had knocked both of them out, I would take the shoes off one guy and put them on the other guy. So he's like, "Why are you wearing my shoes? These don't fit. Did you take them?" And they're like, "No," and the truck is gone. That or open the rations and take one bite out of every item. Nine L is telling me the opposite of orange is aqua. I'm afraid that's incorrect. The opposite of orange is gray. At least from my perspective.
Perspective is important. Hey, brother, I know you're standing post or whatever, but, don't.
Well, that seems to be pretty cool. That's the coolest thing in the world. I think every time you shoot someone with a bazooka, it should sing "Fly Me to the Moon."
Extraction failed.
Shoot down my fucking balloon with a shotgun. Fuck
Why
you.
would they do that? I mean, that's not nice. Do you think they started issuing, like, Izmash or Baikal shotguns? Just,
Just because of me?
yeah. They're like, "We need an anti-balloon effort." They're like, "Why not just shoot the guy with the shotgun?" And they're like, "No."
They're looking inside the building for me. Very nice. Excellent deductive skills there, gentlemen.
Yeah, flechette ammo for the Gustav would have been pretty badass in this game.
Yeah.
Alright, give him a little bit of a boop. That's all you gotta do is boot people in the face with rubber bullets, which makes them unconscious. By that I mean dead.
I don't know why they're wearing gas masks. I haven't gassed anybody.
Maybe somebody has some cabbage farts. You know? If you see a body in a doorway, should you really run to that same exact spot and stand there?
Probably not.
I would think not.
You know, that's what I would consider to be bad tactics, but
Yeah, man. Send him to the moon.
He's coming too. Roger that.
What if, as the game went on, the dog unlocked additional abilities? Reflect possibly a fragment
Uh-huh.
or two, but not in the same spot or from the same direction.
Well, according to Kojima, they're bulletproof.
Ah. Well, I mean, against
And
like
not-
a 22?
Not...
Sure.
Yeah, no, not that bulletproof. They're like 50 cal bulletproof.
Oh, that's amazing.
It really is. Soviet metallurgy is apparently much more advanced in the Kojima-verse.
Yeah, well, it was in stuff like rockets, in rocket motors, but not so much in everything else, you know. I once saw a breakdown of a guy making waffles on a Soviet waffle iron. And he had to have 2 sets of gloves. He had an oven mitt. He had an oven mitt to operate the waffle iron because he said there's no insulation whatsoever on the waffle iron. So it gets hot enough to melt itself to the counter. He said the second set of gloves, the rubber glove, was to unplug it because there is no power switch. It's just full fucking on.
Nice. Yeah, that could or would be
Now,
a
in
little
his
terrifying.
defense, it made a really good waffle. Like there was no soft mush in the middle. Like it was crisp edges. Proper waffle iron.
Oh, that is impressive.
See, I'm on the lookout for one of those old Westinghouse waffle irons.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
The kind that made
giant-
the Scooby-Doo head.
yeah. Well, no, I don't want the cartoon waffles. I want the giant Westinghouse one where you could put like a hamburger patty in there and it would cook it. Like something that has a lot of oomph. Yeah, the kind of waffle iron that causes a brownout. That's the waffle iron I want. I want the waffle iron that when you plug it into the wall, the TV picture gets smaller.
Hell yeah. Biological material.
That sounds gross. No, I want a 70s waffle iron. Yeah, is it electronic countermeasures? No, the waffle iron is on. That's why it's probably smart they never hired me to, or no one would ever hire me to make a BattleTech TV series. Because if I had all the money known to man, I would put gags like that in there. They'd be on the command deck of their dropship, and their little holo tank would start like fuzzing out. You know, things would start fuzzing out, and they're like, my god, are we being jammed? Is this a Starleague era computer virus? And it shows, meanwhile, in the galley, some guy's plugged in, like, the Presto air popper.
Yeah, no. You've got them in the foreground doing the number one and fucking John Luke thing where they're like, how do we solve this problem? In the background, somebody's like realizing what they're doing and unplugging their waffle maker and walking it off the set.
Yeah, and then the holotank comes back up, and they're like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, exactly. I guess we fixed it. Good job.
Blake, preserve us. We did well. Guys got the Presto hot dogger in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
I had talked with some of the BattleTech mod makers, and I said the only thing really missing from their BattleTech mod would be funnier announcements on the dropship. You know, because there's a few people who say some funny stuff like, hey, you know, I left a cup of coffee in the break room if anybody wants some, and then someone comes over the PA and goes, oh, thank you, I'll be there in a minute, or hey, please stay out of engineering, this isn't a toy. I would just leave stuff that you'd really hear on a ship. Whoever left an upper decker in the toilet, I will find and kill you. And then you hear laughing over the radio. The dodgeball tournament has been canceled.
Due to injuries among the participants.
It's like, because we took a clanner into our company, there will be no dodgeball.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
This is command to all elements. You may no longer choose your own call signs. Because, you know, if you had mech warriors choosing their own call signs in an op, they would all be night. It would sound like American Gladiators.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be like Laser, Blazer,
Blaze 1.
Spectre, Spectre 47, Killfuck Soul Shitter, etc. It would be bad. Turbo got to Alpha. Yeah. That's why I name my ships Funny Stuff and Nebulous Fleet Command, so people laugh before shooting me. Like one of my command ships is named Second Rodeo.
R&D team are dumbfounded. They say he's every bit as good as the stories. With him working for us, you'll be able to customize your weapons. Try it out in the ACC.
Yep. Let's see what these abominations.
Laser Ivan says, I remember old Soviet electric kettle. It had plug-in cable and no safety measures.
Ah, yes, the old electronic samovar.
Hamster Wrath says, at last, we know how to remove the scopes now. And we're not shitting on samovars. Samovars are awesome, just not the electric one.
Really, it's all locked out.
What I would love to see...
I bet I can find a mod to change it.
What I would love to see is in a mech warrior game where your salvage also encompasses minor items that you can place around your dropship. You're like, they're like, we don't have money to pay you. You know, we don't have money to pay you your full salvage rights. And you're like, well, I'm taking that dog. Give me the pug. Give me 300 cans of beans. Give me that Hello Kitty poster. I'm taking that man's toupee. Give it to me right now.
Oh. The Fulton M79 is suppressed.
Why? Why?
I was going to suppress it and see if I could suppress it, but it already is.
Why?
I don't know. Why?
Does it make a louder bang sound so you can't hear it? Is that how it's suppressed? It's like screaming to open Velcro.
Those are just locked completely out.
I'll take that jukebox. You're like, but all it's got is this. It's this jukebox is filled with 50 of the same record. I'm taking it. It's mine. We're listening to Phil Collins for 3 jumps, people. No jacket required. What would be funny is if you had the different length barrels and profile barrels, but you didn't have the forends for them.
Yeah.
So you just see like the carbine forend held on with rubber bands.
Allegedly, the Patriot barrel and the port firing weapon barrel are both better in every way than the XM177s.
All right, let's do that. Let's do the port weapon firing barrel. Let's do that.
Yeah. A working coffin mag in 1983. Interesting.
You could get it to work once. That's my feeling. I think you could get it to work precisely once. You know what? Why? Why the buffer tube? Why is there... Oh, God.
Because that's
What are you
correct for the
doing?
Patriot.
You know, there's times where I just die a little inside, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
I don't know why. Everything is perfect.
Ah, yes, an aperture sight.
Yeah.
This is a collection of things I don't like. They're all present in the same thing, and they're all there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an AR.
It's you know, it's not the worst build I've seen. So what are we doing with this RPK-74? Oh, putting an AKSU-74 barrel on it. All right. And then, yeah, okay, so we're making an overbuild. You know, no, put the skeleton stock on there. Let's keep this party going, right? There you go. Let's put all the wrong part. No, what about, no, it needs a drum. It's an RPK, 1.5 mils on the receiver. It can take
Won't
it.
let
Just
me.
put the... Oh, because that would be too crazy.
I haven't developed the
Sure.
drum yet.
Ah, yes. Yes, okay. That's fine. Don't worry about
I assume
that.
that's the next one.
All right, what other things can we do? Like, what horrible things can we do? The parabarrel is the way to go with that.
Yeah.
Can we do the... Oh, we can't do the parastock?
I haven't unlocked it yet.
This is annoying. Goat, look away. We're doing bad things. Please, Goat. Please.
Yeah, para is definitely the way to go on a FAL, though. It makes a FAL with the para barrel is as long as a full G3A3. Which tells you how long the receiver of the FAL is.
It's a long boy. So we've got our... Oh my god, these are all awful.
I can't do anything with the AK-5. Or the M63s. The modular weapon I can't change parts out on? Nice.
Well, just realistically, it's probably because the stoner is broken. I mean, they said it was modular, and then you find out in the field that they never were really modified all that much in the field because people would lose the parts. And so it's like, wow, this modular weapon system, can you swap parts out? No, not really. Are you going to push it to the limit with that Uzi?
Nope.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Hamster of Wrath says you haven't developed screws yet.
They're very, very difficult, the screws.
What can we do to handguns? No. 45 long slide. I hate it.
So all I can do is take pieces off of this.
I hate the laser of the period. I remember one of those great, I want to say mid-80s, law enforcement police books. And it said, the gun of the future is something akin to that phrase. And it showed...
I built a poor man's Mark 23.
I have a USP. They're pretty alright. Until you have to work on them. Fuck replacing that trigger. I'll never do it. I've seen the manual. Not gonna do it. But I remember seeing one of those where they showed the I want to say it was a Smith & Wesson 586 or a Python, but they had mounted on top of it one of those T-84 laser mounts, and it was just, they're like, this is the future of law enforcement, and you're like,
yeah,
I hope not. I certainly hope that is not the case.
See, I want to be able to, like, put the T-84 on my fucking Mark 22 here. And stupid shit like that. I want to be able to put that on the Uzi.
Von Falkenstein says, Tex, apparently the Glock has some kind of plastic block in its magazine, that if you take it out you can fit another bullet into it. I would not modify a Glock magazine to save my life, because they work so fine as is. I have Glock magazines I bought from 15 years ago that still run fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to modify them in any way. I will take them apart once a year, and I will wash them. That's it. I just leave them alone. They run forever. I remember reading one guy's breakdown review where he had tried to say that the Tupperware tactical, as he called it, or derided it back in the day, was no good. He said that Glocks back in the day, these things won't last, they're made out of plastic, they have no future, blah, blah, blah. Just went on about how terrible Glock was. So Glock sent him one of these Gen 1, guns. And as Glock sent him this Gen 1 gun, he proceeded to shoot the bejesus out of it. And what was funny is he gave up at 380,000 rounds. He said at 380,000 rounds, the finish was gone. He's like, the finish of the gun is no longer there, comma. The trigger is incredible because it finally just smoothed out. And then he said the magazine will no longer hold 17 rounds. It will only hold 15 now because the spring's, a little warped. But he's like 380,000 rounds later, still good. It's an appliance. It just lasts forever. And Maze asks, do I reload my ammo? I used to reload a lot of my ammunition. But I've since gotten away with it, or away from it, because I was reloading up around till about a year or two before COVID. And then I just started to see more and more and more stuff become unavailable. Primers, parts, powder, and I was just like, ugh. So I started doing what everyone does, which is just order it by the pallet.
Yeah, I need to put in an order for ammo.
Two of our intel team members are being held captive by the PF in that area, the CFA. Your job is to rescue them. They don't have long.
Well, since he was important enough for Glock to send him a gun for complaining about Glock, I assume he was a reviewer. He was probably shooting his company's ammo, not his own.
Yeah, typically, if you're a reviewer or a gun person, you don't pay for ammunition. They'll just say, how much do you need? And you can get 20, 100,000 rounds, whatever. They'll just ship you a pallet and write it off.
Lots to do in business. I probably should have asked for a truck.
Dak and Back says, I wish there was a mod to turn the game's Bin Laden raid stealth Blackhawks into H-1 Hueys, the Lord's helicopter.
Yeah, me too, man.
I think that a Huey would probably fit better in for this mystique of running around, you know, in war zones in the 80s.
Yeah, it would have been commercially available to anybody trying to run their own shit. Somebody's driving around. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
Enemy presence detected. The map
What if you could level up the dog and ride it? Seems like things are going poorly.
Ow!
So, why are these guys wearing essentially medieval armor?
Because, you know, they give you all of this stuff about non-lethally killing people. So they wanted to also give you enemies that you couldn't do that on, so that you're hyper specialized into the wrong thing and it's harder.
I see. Dak and Back says Bell 205s if you want to be civilian off the scale or a shelf, you know,
Yeah.
about it. Which, yeah. You know what would be really funny is if your organization was really cheap, so you have like old Bell bubble canopies,
the map has been
you know, so you
Oh,
fly
you're,
up.
you're running around in like H-13s.
Yeah, guy flies up, loudest helicopter known to man. You call for air support, and he's got like an Uzi. He just shoots out the open window.
Even better, he's flying over, dropping M67s.
All right. That'll show him. Yeah, an MI8 would also fit. Now, if someone shoots one of your dudes with a rocket, I think it's time to leave.
With a non-lethal rocket.
Doesn't matter. Rocket's a rocket. Like, if someone shoots a rocket that's full of funfetti and crayons, you still, you know.
The map has been updated.
Oh, fuck me.
McLeod, you are more than welcome, sir. He offered a thanks for help getting him into BattleTech. More than welcome, bud. I'm just happy to be a voice in the choir.
Yeah.
I'm happy to play my own small part in bringing BattleTech back from where it was.
That's all gonna be text. I did not do very much with BattleTech before I knew him.
Well, you,
Analysis
you're the deputy of Van Zant, Marshall Sims.
Yeah, as horrifying a concept as that is.
You know, that's funny that Van Zant has the state police and they have urban mechs.
Yeah.
They just pull people over and they're like, well, while doing badass stuff with government equipment is not illegal, littering most certainly is. You need to pick up a variety of tires and the remains of 5 or 6 Hetzers.
Hetzer's
and
gonna
I'm not-
heads, man.
Hetzer's gonna heads. There's a reason why they sell them by the dozen. I've not yet tried the Weeb Patrol DLC, aka the War of 3039, or Into the Dragon, or whatever they call it.
Last contacted us from that forest. The enemy P
No, I think the Hetzer is one of those answers to you and what army on a budget. Like, the Hetzer is a tactical Kinder egg. Everyone's happy to see it, but they're not sure what use it's gonna be. They're like, oh, that's nice. Fuck. Yeah, Van Zandt is, what's funny is, if you go on Sarna, I'm Cannon. Randolph P. Checkers is Cannon, oddly enough. But, by extension, so is Van Zandt, which is kind of amusing, because as far as planets go, it's not like Planet Badass or anything else. It's pretty much any city out on the plains of North Texas. It's based off of Canton, Texas, where I spent a bit of my youth, which is Van Zandt County, which is pretty much known for its swap meet. They have a once a year, not once a year, I think it's once a month, they have a swap meet, Canton Trade Days, and you can go get ice cream there. And the ice cream is made locally and very nice. Also, Van Zandt County is amusing historically because it seceded from the Confederacy, and then the Confederacy told them to knock it off, and then after the Civil War they seceded from the government, and the government told them to knock it off. And so there's a plaque in Canton, Texas that says, "Here stood the free state of Van Zandt." And it's like one afternoon. It's like date today. It was like 6 hours. They had a Declaration of Independence and they had one battle, the Battle of Van Zandt, and it ends like a PG-13 TV show where they have 45 minutes to explain the plot, where they had their revolution. Then they all went home and got drunk to celebrate shooting at people and hitting nobody, just scaring them off. And then as they all got hammered and fell down drunk, the Union came back and arrested them all. But the Union was like, okay, if you all promise not to do that again, we'll lift the charges. And they were like, okay, and just went back to normal. Which is probably the most rural Texas way I ever heard of handling that. It's like the police coming down and be like, y'all stop having yourselves a revolution. It's like, all right, I'm sorry. Yeah, just that, hey, cut it out. And they're like, okay, my bad.
Sorry, officer.
It's like, y'all with the rebel government? No, we're rebelling against the rebel government. You can't do that. That's too confusing. Sorry. We'll try not to destabilize this local area again. What's funny is that Van Zandt County got called the Free State because originally it was part of a larger county, and the county got split into like 3 counties because as population increased, they said this is too big an area to govern, you need to split it into 3 counties. And the first 2 counties got saddled with the debt of city building and everything else, and Van Zandt County got settled with none of the debt. And so the 2 other counties started to call them the Free State because they got, scot-free away with it with no debt and laughed about it.
Analysis complete.
It's about an hour and change east of Dallas. You go out there and you feel like, wow, this is what 1985 forever feels like. It's very much a Napoleon Dynamite sort of setting. Yeah, Van Zandt is a place where if you go to Canton, Texas today, it's not that big. If you look at it on the map, you'll be like, wow, what a small place. And if you go to the trade days, you can buy almost anything at the swap meet. You'll see somebody who like puts out a booth and they'll have a whole bunch of like swords they made in their garage from like old car bumpers, next to a bunch of like Babylon 5 trading cards and VHS tapes for the original Star Trek.
But they're bootleg VHSs.
They might be originals, you don't know. It's just that it's probably been taped over.
You have arrived at your destination.
And thanks, Zircon, I appreciate that. The idea of WBPL 76 is this is just kind of the idea is kind of, well, the Black Pants Legion
The map has been
is a very weird group of people from a very strange place.
Yeah.
And we've joked that if back in the day we were around in the 60s, 50s, 70s, whichever decade you prefer, we would have had a UHF station. Oh my god, Night Owl is just like shotgun blasting subscriptions to people. Good lord, Night Owl. Calm down. Your generosity will drown the world, but thank you. Thank you again for your kindness. The thing is that we felt that as a community, even though I have a successful, by some modest measure, YouTube channel, it would be good to have a community stream. And unlike a lot of YouTube channels where commercialization is the sole, if not primary goal, not a dime of WBPL 76 proceeds go into my pocket, but rather it goes to the community of the Black Pants Legion and helps them get into streaming and learn how to do their art and present stuff and, you know, have fun. And Ogawa, you're right. It would be we would love to run a UHF station like the Weird Al movie. That is our ultimate goal. That has been a long-held dream of mine. And WBPL 76 is kind of the manifestation of that idea. Kind of a weird idea, but I just kind of wanted to. I've kind of wanted to follow the philosophy of, you know, just having a shitpost board that everyone can kind of get in on and showcase their own magical way of making people laugh.
Yeah.
And as a community, it's been really fun because every day you tune in and there's somebody doing their weird thing in their own weird way. And it's quite fun. And that's the idea, is you never know what you're going to get on WBPL 76. I kind of approach the same thing with the Black Pants Legion. I'm not just a BattleTech guy. In fact, if you had to ask me what fandom was I closest in, I would say Space Station 13. I've been playing that for 15 years straight. And I mean like every other day. And so I have a lot of weird interests. And we're coming up on kind of an interesting time of year for the Black Pants Legion, because every Christmas we do this special thing.
The dump.
The Christmas dump, which is why you joined.
Mm-hmm.
Every year I get a bunch of weird ideas and content, and I put it all together in like 20 straight days of content. And the Christmas dump is our annual collection of weird things. And so people who are not long-term fans of the BPL are like, what the fuck? The BattleTech guy is posting a bunch of weird stuff. It's like, yes, I know. It'll be okay.
No,
Or
you
it
get in the
won't, but,
truck.
you know, get in the truck with your friends. I like what Hamster of Wrath said. He said, WBPL is like a box of chocolates if someone stole the instruction card.
He's coming too. Roger that.
You know what's really funny is, after we did the Christmas Bullet, I was informed that that documentary was shown at Civil Air Patrol headquarters. I can only imagine what that auditorium must have looked like afterwards. Because they were like, this is horrible.
You gotta extract him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got away with it. He's fine.
Well, that is the ending to a lot of horrible things.
Yeah. Oh, OP74 says, I know it made its way to Edwards Air Force Base. OP, you're gonna have to tell that story. And McLeod, I'm with you. I like a variety of content myself, and that's why I see my channel as just a collection of weird ideas, because I realize I'm not a guy who wants to have this super clean, manicured, beautiful channel that only makes the one thing and is known for one thing and is perfect for the algorithm and heavily monetized and all that others. I'll leave that to other people who want to be commercial entities. But I've come to the realization that every hour you got on this world is precious. So do what you want to do, and I want to have fun with my friends and do weird stuff, rather than, you know, make the up-click happy. And I think that's kind of important in an age where things are so trivial and strange. So Opie said he showed it to his college roommate that is a flight test engineer, and apparently it matriculated from there.
Poor bastards from Massa Village will bleed you all dry for this.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
And yeah, we were talking about the Christmas Aircraft Company video, the
Yes.
Christmas bullet that we made. It was horrifying because I remembered a guy messaging me, and he said, I did not think that was the actual transcript. I thought you guys made that up. And he went and read the actual transcript, and he said he was horrified because I cut about 30 pages of insanity out.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Yeah.
It's got a safety value of 7!
Project has been
Oh, we can develop the Patriot now.
Maybe you'll actually break a sweat next time, huh?
Well, the thing that's funny is all we had to do with William Whitney Christmas was show the truth. That's it.
Yeah.
All we had to do was show the exact fucking truth as it was. Like, hey, here's the transcript. Here's all of their notes. And the guy is going, I am the only man who can make any kind of plane. That is an exact quote.
Yeah. No,
All I had to
it's
do was set it
fucking
to
nuts.
music.
And how many Congo speakers are there actually, like, in the world now? 'Cause
I
it
don't
seems
know.
like about half of these guys have Congo as a second language.
Maybe they're an enthusiast group, you know what I mean? And thank you for enjoying the poetry. As far as Dr. Christmas goes, like, we found out that as the deeper we dug, we ran into a wall because no one else had decided to dig deeper. No one else had decided to go further down that rabbit hole to find out what this dude was about. And that's where we started to run into the shit that was like, no way. Where we were going through articles, and that's where we found his airport design.
Yeah.
Which was just the donut. The underground airport donut, where he was like, planes can land on any angle they please. And I showed that to a friend of mine who is a civilian pilot who screamed. He was just like, what is this? And I said, this guy literally was trying to sell this design. And he goes, are you telling me that a guy said it's safe to have head-on traffic? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, what else did this guy do? And then I showed him the Christmas bullet animation with the wings flapping, and he was like screaming. He's like, this isn't real. This is a cartoon character. And I was like, no, this guy's real. Then we proved that he billed the U.S. government for $100,000 for his proprietary wing design.
Yeah.
Please specify a project.
It's madness, but it's that meme of confused screaming intensifies of good Christ. Like, at what point does your con become belief, right? At what point does the con become real? I tried to chalk it up to like laudanum, but I found out they banned that over the counter in 1912. Then I realized he was a doctor, and could just get away with it. What's funny is if you go back to the video, though, if you go back to the video and you look at the images of the Christmas bullet at the New York Air Show, the second Christmas bullet after the first crash, you'll notice a sign on the wings that says, please don't touch. Because it would fold like a cardboard house.
Yeah. There we go. I've got a little bit of drift in the stick on this controller, and it's just enough that it doesn't want to stay put when it's locked onto one of those.
Dr. William Whitney Whiting Wallace Christmas.
Yeah, whatever his name was.
He kept changing his name. It's funny because when they swear him in, it's William Whiting at Christmas. It's one of those stories where you're like, how did this happen? And the thing that blew my mind was how many people who were actually really, really, really respected aviation journalists who
It's
were
never checked.
Never checked. They just accepted him at face value, where he said, oh, of course I invented this wing design. And they were like, of course you did.
Yeah, why would you lie?
Why would you lie? Why would a man named Dr. Christmas be a liar?
He wants them dead to keep them from talking. Check a VI on your iDroid for more information.
True bird flight.
I kind of wish... Go ahead.
I still think, like, Captain Obvious was the right person to voice him.
Oh, 100%.
Like, he killed me. When we were doing the audio recordings, we had to cut me laughing. Because just his ability to dawdle as he talked was brilliant. He's like, well, you know, you see,
Yeah.
Has been updated.
You there?
I'm here.
Okay. I didn't know if it had kicked you out of the channel again, like it sometimes chooses to do.
Discord do that. It's because Discord dumb, but it's what we got, you know?
Ooh.
You guys almost sound like the MST3K Rift Tracks guys. Well, thank you. I grew up with Mystery Science Theater 3000. They're a huge input on my life. Also, Deb and I have done a bit of riffing on video in our series Far Cry 5 with a Cop.
Mm-hmm.
There's some videos in there where we watch police training films. And, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of those training... My favorite was I believe the video we did that was entitled "This Is Your Police," right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was about Detroit's police department in the 50s, and it shows how different things were. But at a certain point, it shows their actual pistol competition, and in their pistol competition. What blew my mind was they were shooting at a wooden backstop at what looked like a sandlot. Like it just looked like a basic sandlot in somebody's, in some neighborhood.
Yeah.
And there was a wooden backstop to them shooting 38 pistols at it for competition. And I'm going, on the other side of that plywood is somebody's house.
Yeah, like you could see the houses in the wide shots.
Yeah, so you imagine some housewife is in there, smoking a cigarette, and it's the 1950s, so smoking a cigarette at home and, tidying up the house, and in comes this, 38 wad cutter slug through the window.
And she goes, "Oh, God, not again."
Not again, not the police Olympics.
Yeah, no, No, I don't want his gun. Pick him up. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Hamster of Wrath points out the ballistic squat, the squat shooting.
Yes.
I loved that, where it's like, before engaging in a gunfight, do a sumo wrestler starting stance, and then unload on them, one-handed with a 38.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get the concept, because it's wide athletic stance, yada yada yada, just... The execution looks...
Zircon says, "Honey, why is the back fence full of holes and the dog dead?" Oh, the police! Two-way bore! Yeah, I got that wide tom stance. It's just amazing. I love the fin stabilized tear gas, where the guy's like, "This rocket will penetrate a ne'er-do-well's hideout," and they show the rocket going through a wall, and you're like,
So,
these guys are dead.
I was talking with somebody who had been on our tactical team in the 90s, and he says that we actually had some of those munitions from Smith & Wesson.
Oh, God.
And he described, we had a trailer that we had on our range for tactical team training. And they'd set it up so that you could change the layout of the walls and that kind of thing. It's not even a double wide. It's just a really old, 50s, 60s trailer. And
Yeah.
the salesman gives them one of everything so that they can see what they want, right? Because it's time to redo their order. It's a new salesman. He's certain he's going to get some money out of us.
Yeah.
And they load that fucking penetrator round in the 37mm launcher, and they fire it at the house, and they're like, "Huh, I don't really see anything." And then they see a little bit of smoke coming off the roof, and they're like, "Did it get stuck in a wall or something?" So they start moving around to go try to see, and they realize that it has gone through every wall in that house and out the back, and is stuck at an angle out of the backstop for the range, and just spewing smoke to beat the band.
Wow. As they also point out in chat, nothing like the non-lethal tear gas grenade, the repeater jumper that scorched the concrete as
Yeah.
they jump around.
Yep.
You're just like, oh, that seems a bit much.
Apparently, the crowd control munition was the fan favorite, because the sergeant who was in charge of our team at the time has everybody line up, and he's like, okay, we're going to see what this does. Everybody's got their masks on. And he fires it, and as soon as it leaves the barrel, he's just covered in smoke. And everybody else goes, where'd he go? And then the smoke starts drifting towards them as they hear him, like, dying inside this gas cloud that's 200 yards long and 50 yards wide. They're like, oh no, we need to mask up.
Everyone just starts running. In the Magistrata Mundanus, I actually put gas grenades that you guys really didn't use.
We were quite lethal.
Yeah, which I understand. It's a rough city. Magna City's a rough city. And Sector, Delta is pretty rough. But the gas grenade rules I'd written were like 1d100 meters in every direction of smoke, every d3 rounds, 4 d10 rounds.
Nice.
It would just basically, it was like a roach fogger. Like it would be like, I'm fogging this house for potato bugs. Like, really way too much. You would have probably been the only character to live.
God, I'm always disappointed with what video games think long-range shooting is.
Typically, when you can't see them, or the front sight blade obscures the target, that would be long range. Like, when you put the front sight blade on the target and you can't see it, you're at long range.
Yeah.
Tear gas is pretty horrifying.
Yeah, it's kind of... It's up there. On your escalation, it's pretty up there.
Imagine if gas police had taken off and that's how they handled things. Like, every cop just shows up with that grenade launcher and they're like, all right, come out, Johnny. Yeah, the situation is diffused if everyone is blind, right? Oh boy.
I know they needed a way for there not to be parachutes laying all over the place.
Well,
but
maybe
personally, I would
burst into
prefer...
flames.
Yeah.
Just burst into flames. Attack of the balloon men.
You gonna extract him?
God damn.
So I think this is getting bad. So what is your purpose here? Are you just roaming around kidnapping people?
I'm
Is this
supposed
like
to eliminate some people.
Ah. So are you just hoping that they get stuck into the prop wash up there? Is that the plan? Or...
Well, before this tank showed up, my plan was just to slowly work my way through all these people.
Just slowly work your way through. Okay. Sounds like your dog is barking.
He is.
Oh, Hamster of Wrath redeemed pet.
Okay, hold on.
Nap time.
Yeah. You know, if you're hit with a tranquilizer, then I don't care how many times the fucking honk honks. you're not probably waking up.
Probably not, no. Nothing like the guy sitting there bringing the Centauro to bear and then all of a sudden facing the sky.
That would be a bad day. No, get down. Get down.
Get down to party.
Grenade.
And this is gonna be rough.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough.
It's okay, you can just run away until your hit points return.
That's the plan.
It seems like that would be a bad way to go. Repeatedly shot at point blank range with 30 caliber rubber bullets.
Yeah. I would not enjoy it. Hey, D-Dog found the enemy.
Oh. It's a lot better than quiet whistling. I mean, at least she's not like humming the hamster dance tune on, you know, repeat or caramel dancing or something.
No, I need you to move, move, move.
So somebody in chat says they missed a trick with UFO-shaped balloons. Nobody would believe the witnesses. UFO has stolen a truck. I don't think so.
You sold it for more fucking cocaine, didn't you? No.
No, no, it's UFO. Spaceman come down with laser beam, steal truck.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Sounds like they're having a hard time coming to facts with things.
Yeah, they certainly don't seem to be fans.
Spacey man with magic balloon rocket. He steal a truck. Sounds almost as hilarious as guy with rubber bullet machine gun stealing people with hot air balloons. You know?
Outpost captured.
Captured.
I mean, if a guy said what legitimately happened correctly, I don't think anyone would believe the character.
No.
A man with one eye and a metal horn coming out of his head ran into the camp with a dog, shot everyone with rubber bullets, and kidnapped them with Fulton devices, each man individually with one balloon, to an airplane that was running track circuits above, to add to his private army.
Extraction failed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it doesn't sound believable. If somebody said if your intel officer said this is what we believe is going on, you would be like, quit smoking crack and come back to us with some common sense.
D-Dog found medicinal plant. D-Dog found wild animal. D-Dog found weapon. See, that's useful.
That is. He
I
even
hear-
stole a tank. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 tanks. I've stolen 2 tanks.
Tank-shaped objects.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me, what the fuck is going on with this not quite a 50 cal here?
Oh boy.
So they've got a drop butterfly trigger for some reason.
Oh, you know, because offset, it's, I mean, the muzzle, Just send it to the moon. I don't want to look at it anymore. It's
You got it,
the
boss.
It's got the flared muzzle brake. No. Send it away. Send it away. Please.
Maybe it's an aircraft one that's been repurposed.
Please don't say that. This is not an ANM 3. This is just nonsense.
I know.
I wish you could have an Obres in this, to be honest, because you pull the trigger and then it shows the flashbang effect for you and the enemy.
That's the kind of shit that you would be finding on people in Africa, though, or in Afghanistan.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially with Khyber Pass. I showed you that one dude who called into the podcast and said, "I've got the best worst Obres of all time." I showed that to you, right?
Yes, you did.
That is the most horrifying thing I have ever seen as a gunsmith that I know would work.
Please select a drop.
And I thought it's magical, but this guy sent in the worst Obres ever as a submission.
It's
And
pretty fucking
you know,
awful.
It's amazing. It's so bad it's good. It is an Obres Mosin Nagant cut all the way down as you would. But then he has mated it to a DP-27 pan magazine. And it works.
Yep. Well, and
Yeah. It's amazing.
he built up the front end with Bondo to make that magazine stay, right?
He
There
did
was
some
there was
black
something
magic.
like that.
It was like it was evil gunsmithing black magic, but yes, it had a DP-27 magazine, pan magazine on the bottom, and there's pictures of him shooting it, and it looks like someone shooting a phaser in Star Trek because it's just light.
Yeah, it's something else.
It's amazing. It has the pan magazine hanging from the magwell on the bottom, but it works. It's a collection of things that should not go together, but technically are in the same caliber, thus they might. How the fuck does that work? Well, I could draw a diagram, but then I would start screaming because I realize things don't line up right.
It was creatively done.
Chat, we have a phrase I say whenever we approach these how and why situations. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just don't
worry
fucking
about it.
worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
You can't change it, so why worry?
Don't worry about it.
Am I here yet? No, this is...
Are you just advancing up the road, stealing everything?
I'm gonna skip this one because nothing here interests me. They don't have a truck. Or a tank.
Nothing for the collection, I see.
Right? No, they've got a lot of boxes, though.
Yeah, Lord Grimo says, Tix, would you say this is an Eldritch gun we're talking about? Yes. If you picked up this gun in Delta Green, it would cause a sand check just to look at it.
Analysis complete.
Yeah. God, with Halloween being on a Tuesday this year, I'm gonna have to work. I'm not gonna be able to run a Delta Green game.
You could run one on the weekend.
I could.
Just run a one-off Delta Green. Bring back the team. Zip Winchester.
I wanted to, if I could figure
US
out a way to
Piz.
do it. Bring back the team and run part 2. And slowly we'll get through a whole campaign year by year on Halloween.
That could be funny. Mail crime. Are those stamps? Zip Winchester, American hero.
Zip Winchester.
I spent $47 million on a sting. We stopped $1,300 in mail fraud. Zip Winchester.
The important thing is that
American
you
hero.
did stop it.
We did stop the mail fraud.
You have arrived at your destination. Analysis.
I forget how that one ended. Did you guys figure out which one was which, or did you let the wrong one go?
Analysis.
I think we made it not our problem. I think that's what we did. I think we were just like, we sent them away, and it later became someone else's issue. And then we clapped our hands and were like, handled.
Come on, brother. Can you see me? Do you see me?
Yeah, wrong and right are malleable concepts, especially in Delta Green.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Train, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Train. Oh, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Shine your
Oh, yeah.
flashlight.
Say hello, Mr. Train. Wow.
I was
That
just
guy's
waiting.
gonna need a ramp.
Yeah.
Detected. The map has been updated.
I was just waiting for him to get close enough to the edge.
That guy did a great movie jump. Can we get a round of applause in chat for him? That's really not easy for a stuntman to do.
Especially without a pad. Because, you know, the ground was going to be visible on that one. They couldn't use a pad like they normally do.
Fatality. Someone asked why we're fighting with the Nerf gun, and Pretzel Bomber says it's the new FAL from Hasbro.
He's not wrong. It's convenient that everybody, Soviets and TMCs, use American surplus generators in this.
It's just cost effective, Deb. I saw somebody start up one of those generators once, and they hit the starter, and like the metal plate banged off the side of it, and black smoke came out, and then it started.
Yeah.
It was just boom, and then I just had to explode a little bit, but I'm okay now.
Well, you know, it's just got to clear the chamber of all the old sticky diesel.
Well, it was like bang, panel came off, and I mean it was a loud bang, like a pop. I thought the thing had exploded, and then black smoke, and then it started, and the guy goes, "There she goes." Like the guy was unbothered by that. He was like, "There she goes." I just went, "Why?" And he goes, "It's old." He gets cranky, and I said, "Have you ever worked on it?" And he said, "Why would I do that?"
Well, there's your answer.
Well, he said if it ever got bad enough, he'd just buy another one.
They are pretty cheap.
I think he was happy that it just turned on. And that the explosion didn't continue to where we were standing. Like a movie, you know?
Yeah.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Now, as I recall, all these people are going to get turned into nanite zombies here on my return trip. So I'm
Why?
trying to reduce the number of them I have to fight, is why I'm stealing everybody.
And maybe they should put higher railings on those towers. I agree.
There's a clear safety thing going on there.
I'm going to get back with a beverage. I'll be right back. Continue your accident checks, you know. Ah, yes, the nanites.
That there ain't a mine, that's a sarlacc pit. Depis? Yes. Yeah, I am saving these people from the techno zombies. Now, why their employer, or how their employer is going to feel about them appearing randomly in a Caribbean island after I fire them because they're not useful to me, instead of being where they're supposed to be in Africa, that's a different story, but technically they are surviving. And they're not actually sending anybody to check because this is a story mission, and for whatever reason they don't script a search team for story missions in Metal Gear Solid 5. That's a
Alright, I'm
rickety-ass
back.
fucking bridge.
I don't know. I think that's a reasonable bridge compared to, I don't know. There's this game called Snowrunner that we occasionally play. You may remember this game, where all I do is spend my time kvetching and screaming the whole time, because you will tell me to go do something with my truck, and I put the truck into gear, and I get there, and you go, oh wait, we needed to go somewhere else.
Or, oh, that's the wrong thing to bring.
Yeah. And I just start screaming. I just start screaming. No like. And then inevitably you bring out Tippy Truck. And my blood pressure, like if I was wearing a heart monitor during our streams and you could see the readout, when Tippy Truck exits the garage, it would look like an astronaut's EKG during a launch. I would just be like, no, please. Please not Tippy Truck. But no, there's Tippy Truck doing Tippy Truck shit.
Please select a drop.
I'm more a service truck guy.
Service truck is pretty cool.
Service truck. It is the truck that drives.
Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Seems like people would notice that.
No.
Like, if you were flying a Hind gunship around, would you notice a launcher getting dropped? That guy noticed it.
No. He didn't. He's fine. Now get in your box. Hamster makes a suggestion. Why don't you Fulton rocket the Hind?
You know, I don't think it works. I don't think I can catch them. They're the legendary Pokemon.
I don't know.
But, I mean, it doesn't cost me anything but my sanity to try. Where's the Hind at?
A Hindy.
I think it knows I got a rocket launcher and it fucked off because I'm not seeing it. And I'm not hearing
See the
it.
Hind in its native habitat, prowling the Afghanistan plain looking for victims.
Remind me next time we got a helicopter and I'll try that. Because that sounds stupid enough to probably work.
Might as well. Look at these guys.
Analysis complete.
Walking around like bad guys.
It's how you can tell bad guys, man, is a, I think it's coming back. There it is. Bad guys are always tailgating each other. Whether they're walking, whether they're driving. Black SUVs tailgating each other. Those are bad guys.
Please select
All right.
drop point.
Am I wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I am agreeing to your observation thus far. Oh, there he goes.
Supply drop complete.
Yeah, gas masks with no gas around must be bad guys.
Fuck yeah.
Stands to reason. See, if someone is wearing all black with a gas mask and there's no gas around, bad guys. Typically sci-fi bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it's a sci-fi bad guy because they will also have typically something like a calico, you know, M950, but with a lot more stuff on it.
Yeah.
And a flashlight taped to the barrel. And they will be like, oh yes, the future police.
You gotta be careful about the future police.
Alright, so you've got your bazooka of stealing. Okay. Seems like he's just interested in flying around. He's doing orbits.
He is.
He's taking it easy.
I'll catch him on the next orbit round.
See, I was talking about fun film project ideas, and one of the ones I had was do like a Soviet Star Trek. Like, do what if Star Trek was shot in the Soviet Union in the 60s? You know, their version of the future.
Yeah.
And so the red shirts go down wearing the 1940s Soviet quilted combat stuff, and they have PPSHs that, as you see when they encounter the aliens, they're just spraying PPSH, just Tokarev down the hallway, just painting the hallway with it. And it has very crude animated lasers, like, drawn over it. You know what I mean? Like, it's chewing up the scenery because it's live ammo. And then you see, like, very crude lasers drawn over it. And they're like, I have stunned him. And it's obviously shot holes and everything. I would love to create like a fake Soviet version of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Just because we know what Roddenberry's version of the future looks like, where they're like, oh, there's no racism and there's no classism and there's no,
Except for all the times there is.
don't worry about it. And then you have, I would love to see what the Soviet version of that, and just ham it up like shitpost very hard. I would love to make that. Soviet Star Trek would be hilarious. Because at the end, instead of, the smug Captain Kirk saying something, like at the end, he's just saying, of course, because our system is superior, and it's obvious that they just bombed a planet out.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Nope. Doesn't seem to bother him.
Oh.
That bothered him.
Yeah, I got his
Well.
attention.
You rang the dinner bell. Yep. Oh, no.
Yeah, it does not appear to do anything.
Well, he seems to be upset now. Yep, he's very upset. I would say that the situation has escalated.
He just shot me 37 times with that autocannon.
Training bullets. He's using the rubber bullets back. Yeah, bring out the 1911.
Please
That'll do
select
it.
a drop point. Supplies requested.
Is that helicopter making the beeping noise?
Supply drop complete.
I think so.
Maybe it did do damage. Maybe it's just running out of oil pressure.
God damn it.
The enemy got away. What he means is I need to go home. Oh, he's got a spotlight going now. Well, I think the heat round worked.
Yeah.
Give me a sit rep. Scream over. A situation, you say?
All units on alert. Where the fuck am I going?
All set shortly.
Do they really want me just like in the Sarlacc pit there? Alright.
What does a less lethal handheld missile launcher look like? Hot Shots Part 2, where you shoot the boxing glove out.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that, certainly.
That or of a spud gun, like a potato cannon. You know, you light it off and it's like,
If
and it hits them.
if I am flying a helicopter and I get hit by a potato gun, I'm probably going down. Helicopters have a lot of squishy shit exposed.
Imagine if you hit them with a potato and it was like a loaded baked potato in foil. So it just splats all over the windscreen.
Good dog.
Good buddy, finding guns for me. Man, maybe I should have like talked to one of those guys that I shot. Ask them where the fuck these people are.
You just have a bazooka that shoots loaded, dirty diapers at them.
Ugh. So is this an active mine? What are they mining here?
Looks like oil drums. It's an oil drum mine.
Hey, somebody noticed I shut off the lights 30 minutes ago.
It's a dirt mine.
Hey, dirt farming's hard.
What are you shooting?
Hey, you little son of a bitch.
What are you trying to shoot?
The gerbil, I think?
Hamster.
Yeah, hamster.
Hamster.
Where the fuck am I supposed to go?
Gotta go fast. Where are you supposed to go? This is mine now. Get it? It's a play on words. It's mine.
I did. I got it.
It's the best I got.
I was supposed to rescue some people or kill some people. Something like that.
I forgot the message. They told me that I needed to shoot people with a gun.
Eliminate the 5 prisoners being held at Kunganganga Mine.
Eliminate?
Eliminate. Maybe they're in this building. Did I check the buildings? I don't think I checked the building.
Did we check inside? We got kind of sidetracked with can we steal a helicopter?
Yeah, which is bullshit. We should have been able to steal that helicopter.
I think that would have been hilarious. You watch the helicopter slowly get pulled upward, and
Yeah.
you hear the guy screaming and trying
Oh,
to shoot.
here we go. Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. Not what I was going for. Thank you, though, Snake. Yeah, they're using the mine itself, which is not the
Oh.
pit mine outside, it's the cave mine.
Cave mine. Well, we got a dungeon. What if you ran in here and you found Tony Stark working on something? He's like, hey, what's up?
I know I'm in the right place because it cutscened me.
And you've got the perfect CQB, close quarters bazooka.
Yeah.
My favorite iteration of that he made it in a cave meme was referencing that game BattleBit. It showed EA yelling at DICE, and it's like, they made it in a cave with a box of scraps.
Oh, yeah, he's decided not to kill them. Oh my god, because they're child soldiers.
Bingo. You know what to do.
You run into Gimli, and he's like, and they call it a mine. Hey, the kid's offering you a bribe.
Yeah, he is. How many of these you got, kid?
Would this be a 20% tip, or...
Their lives for a fistful of diamonds, huh? And what happens after that? They can't go home. They've only got two options. Heaven or hell.
No, here's another.
Utter heaven. Tape's rolling, boss.
Yeah, I picked the other two locks.
Well, now they're all deaf and terrified.
About it, cause looks like our client just got outbid.
We got the recording. Objective accomplished.
Let's go.
We'll bring him back to
Sorry, Ocelot. They're all dead. I tried. He's like, good God. He's like, I'm a war criminal.
RV.
Real big boss would've. He's a motherfucker.
There's some
I agree.
Oh, I've signed out.
downriver. I'll have
You signed out.
down there.
I thought he said there's a playground downriver.
Listen,
We're gonna take him to the gazebo, Snake.
no matter what, you bring him back alive. Exit the cave and turn left, then pass through the swamp and follow the river downstream. Doesn't look like he can walk.
Extraction
Still gonna help him.
at Mother Base.
No, I'm gonna leave him. Because he's not a mission objective.
Updated. The map has been updated.
Boss, if even one of those kids die, the mission's a failure. Be careful.
Why would he say that? How would he know?
How did he know they were kids? Like, the dude's just on, like, fucking satellite phone call with me, right?
He's on, yeah, he's like sitting there on Inmarsat, and he's like, which has cave reception, I guess.
Yeah.
Those kids' only support out there. You need to give them orders. Lead them to the objective area. But they won't hear you if you're too far away from them.
You need to give them orders? I don't think we speak the
guess.
same language. How do I give them orders? Stop being a
And
fuckwit.
scream. Just start screaming at them.
Alright, hold on.
We have to run the children down the valley,
Analysis.
past the scary mans, who put their logo on the side of the tin. That seems to have handled that, you know.
D-Dog found a wild animal.
Oh. Another hamster, maybe.
Probably.
Hamster.
It appears to be another hamster, yes.
That's a good question. Would a tent set a rocket off?
Good question. Yeah. Oh no. They heard the explosion and they're coming.
Sounds like they're about to fall victim to yet another explosion. You know?
Are either of you useful?
Complete. Analysis complete.
Yes. Fuck.
Alright, don't worry. Send them to the moon.
Yeah, I know that you were torturing children just like 2 minutes ago, but you got really good stats, so welcome to my team.
There you go. War has changed.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Alright. Are the kids gonna follow you, or...?
Yeah, they're following me. Or the dog or something.
Alright.
I think they just ran through the fire, though, because they keep screaming. Oh, more enemy up ahead.
That'll learn them. For
Nice.
dancing lights. Cheered 1,000 bits. Well, thank
Thank
you,
you.
bud.
There's a lot of people patrolling this ostensibly strategically useless river.
Well, I mean, they have a map, but the useless part of that phrase got effaced by the passage of time.
Ah,
You know. Oh, SRW addict redeemed Wasser break. No problem.
useful?
Analysis complete.
No, he's a boaster. Fuck him. I'll leave him to be blamed for all this.
He's like, I'm a mighty warrior. Too bad the kids can't help you loot stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they've got all those diamonds.
Yeah. Oh, 204 is approaching. Will it happen?
You can come with me, but you're gonna have to work.
Let's see what happens. Frito says, I miss 204.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
You're a physician.
In what country is that true?
Cuba. Stop running. Stop there. Stop there. Stop there.
Analysis complete. This man is an idiot. Oh, and I'm aware of the Ox's mayoral election. I've been briefed by each of the candidates, more or less, or at least their intentions.
He's a shirtless
Kaiser.
physician.
Well, I mean, you know, he's trying to pose for that swimsuit calendar. But yeah, there's a few people running for mayor of the Ox. Shit posts have continued. Calls of free Oxlandia, restore the Kaiser to rulership, and many other things. Someone's probably gonna write in Tom Bombadil as mayor. Forever mayor Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, don't worry. I just put you down in the river. I'm sure you can breathe.
Well, Quiet can drink through her skin. Oh, it looks like we're back. Welcome back, everyone, to 204.
They all collapsed as soon as they got in the rotor wash, I guess.
They are feeble. The universe is right again. You guys got 204, just like you wanted.
It's assigned loser by the iDroid.
Wow.
That's rough, buddy.
Don't worry about it. We'll be alright.
Oh, the helicopter's been shot down, Snake. I think they do use that ploy once or twice in this game.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Solid Snake gains a retinue of skilled orphans and becomes the new Shadow King.
What if he used all those kids to start a car wash or something funny and it becomes like a slice of life story?
What were the bonus objectives?
What bonus objectives? You blew up so much stuff and you stole like 800 people. Bonus objectives: make enemy organization. What in the cinnamon toast fuck happened? What happened? Well, he stole a bunch of
That
people.
mission was so expensive that I am in the negative.
Why? What has occurred?
Okay. That is going to have to be the end of it because I have to go help somebody with a flat tire.
Oh, man. Well, I understand. Coming up next in a bit is going to be Quish doing Cooking on the Rim. Thank you guys for checking in and watching us on a Monday night. Appreciate you guys for spending your time with us. As always, most welcome and thank you.
Yeah. We'll get through this.
Oh my god. How many people? Panzer Bison?
Yeah.
Oh my
Goblin
God.
Shark. Howling Gator.
Sinister Moth. Why did you freak out in the kitchen? I saw a sinister moth. Lonely Jackal. Raging Buffalo. That sounds like a bad Taurus revolver.
Midnight Mustang is a porn name. Stubborn Mastiff
Yeah.
is also a porn name. Seething Husky.
Porn name. Creeping Hippo. Porn name. Good lord. Devil Roach? That sounds like a strain of weed.
Ochre Sloth. Frigid
That
Hyena.
Devil Roach fucked me up, brother.
Titanium Gibbon.
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually.
Copper Octopus. At least it's got that alliteration thing going for it. Bastard
Copper-
Viper.
Yeah, I'm Jimmy the Bastard Viper. Rumble Cobra. Sounds like a wrestler, you know. Sonny Buzzard. It's one of Sonny Bono's kids.
Oh man, I got the worst code name. How bad? Goblin Rooster.
Ugh.
I have to learn what porn they are making with these names. Oh, yeah. Oh my god, it's an oil derrick. Yeah.
Is this the part where the music gets softer so you know he's not ill-intentioned?
Yes. Oh, hey, there was a third of the voice lines for Snake in this game right there. Come on.
I mean, the guy from 24 costs a lot of money.
What you thinking, boss?
I'm thinking that he's tougher than he looks. A little training, he'll make himself useful.
Never like kids. Especially ones with guns.
Man, you're like really bad at your job, Snake.
See, kid's a natural.
Yeah.
No. He's no natural. Far from it.
I do like the flies. That's nice.
You probably noticed on the way in, we've expanded housing. They'll have their own quarters, separate from ours. Won't be counted as staff.
Unsupervised children, a good idea.
They'll learn how to read and write. Do basic jobs.
A chance at a real life. Just not from behind a gun.
Being behind a gun's what we do, boss. There's no room for angels in our heaven.
Are you sure?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
I
with
bet
the
that
kids,
sounded like really badass in Japanese, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, what would be hilarious is if you use those kids as, like, a cover. You know what I mean? You use those kids as a cover, and you're like, oh, people are like, what is this? And you're like, this is a sanctuary for war orphans. And these are the UNICEF kids. You just use them in photo ops, and you win. They're like, oh my god, we need to give you guys money. You're so nice. And we're like, yes, we save war orphans.
Yeah.
Did he just light a cigar with a walkie-talkie? No, he lit an e-cigar.
Yeah,
with a
he
walkie-talkie.
mined lighting his e-cigarette. Because Kojima was really convinced that was going to be cool, that vaping was really cool.
Vaping makes you 1,000% cooler. Every time I see someone vaping in public, I go, man, I need sunglasses. I can't look that guy in the eye. I'm not cool enough.
Yeah. All right. On that, we are going to go.
All right.
So,
thank you guys for checking us out.
yeah, we'll catch you next week with Madness Monday.
Sounds like a winner.
All right. See ya.
Later.